much for being here. Thank you, everyone on Facebook Live and those who are watching from your homes. My name is Dr. Dante Early, and I am President and CEO of United Way California Capital Region. I am so excited to be here today to announce the launch of our second round of funding for United Way's Guaranteed Income Program. For 100 years, United Way California Capital Region has been working to end poverty in our region. Yet, with rising housing, food, gas, and electricity costs, too many residents of our state's capital are struggling to make ends meet. United Way's Guaranteed Income Program addresses poverty, directed by giving qualifying community members money to meet their basic needs. It's no strings attached funds. We trust participants know how to best spend their money to meet their family's needs. United Way launched our first Cohort 1 in July of 2021 with a portion of the $10 million gift it received from renowned philanthropic leader Mackenzie Scott in December of 2020. In our first cohort, we saw the program decreased income volatility, helped residents stay housed, paid for child care, and bought food, and increased financial stability. We are now accepting applications for the second round of funding from United Way's Guaranteed Income Program. Thanks to allocated funding from the City of Sacramento, as well as our other donors and grantors, we will select 80 more households to participate in United Way's Guaranteed Income Program 2.0. It is very, very exciting. Participants will receive $500 a month for 1 year. Eligible applicants must live in the City of Sacramento. The application is available online at yourlocalunitedway.org. Once again, yourlocalunitedway.org until April 14th at 11:59 p.m. That is when applications close. It's available in a variety of languages, and we will select qualifying households randomly. We will review applications and confirm that the new cohort we'll confirm this by the end of May, with our first payments starting in July of 2023. So July of this year, just a couple of months. I would also like to highlight our partnership with Sac State to evaluate this program. It's really important that we are working together as a collective in our partnership. I would now like to introduce Mayor Steinberg, who has been such a strong champion of United Way's Guaranteed Income Program and universal basic income overall. He has worked with his colleagues on the City Council to secure funding so we could expand this program to more residents of the City of Sacramento. Thank you, and here's Mayor Steinberg.
Thank you, Dr. Early. Thank you so much, Dr. Early. Thank you to you, the United Way, the board, your team, for being our partners and for implementing the first round of the Guaranteed Basic Income Program without public support. You did it on your own. And so now we step up, and why are we stepping up? Because there is a bold national movement afoot here to ensure that more families have the basics and a foundation to be able to have a better life. And it's called Guaranteed Basic Income. And Sacramento intends to be on the forefront of this movement. We had many choices when it came to the and many needs, frankly, when it came to the expenditure of our American Rescue Plan dollars. But my colleagues, and I'm proud to join them here today, decided that investing directly in people, investing directly in households through this innovative, cutting-edge approach to alleviating poverty was the right thing to do. And so what is Guaranteed Basic Income? It's really, really important here. I asked this question before I got up of some of the team. What were the results of the first cohort, the United Way project that was privately financed? Well, here's one important fact that everybody should know. This is not a giveaway. 2/3 of the people who were recipients of guaranteed income in the first round were working, hello, 2/3 of the people who received the guaranteed income grant were working multiple jobs. So this isn't about a giveaway. It's about making sure when people, that people who are working hard and still struggling to make ends meet because of the high cost of housing, because of the fact that they may not make sufficient wage, because of the unanticipated in life, the broken down car, the unanticipated medical expense, the things that happen to all of us, that people of limited income have the ability to make it. You know, Tuesday the City Council heard a very sobering report about the number of Sacramento households that are behind on their rent because of the COVID crisis, and how we've run out of money, frankly, to be able to provide that rental assistance. Well, imagine expanding guaranteed basic income far and wide, so that those 4,500 households and people like them had the ability to both pay the rent, afford the prescriptions, feed their families, and maybe have a little bit left over to make sure that the holidays were a happy time for families. That's what this is about. It's a great thing, and I'm so proud that we are investing directly in partnership with the United Way to be a leader across the nation. Guaranteed basic income. Let's spread it far and wide. Thank you very much, everybody. Let me now turn it over to my colleague who has been such a champion in her short time on the council already on all issues relating to social justice, whether it's food access, whether it's more investment in our young people, and now standing up for this very important cause. Mayor Pro Tem Mai Vang.
Thank you, Mayor. Hello, everyone. First, I just want to thank Dr. Early and United Way just for your heart and your hustle and your leadership to make sure that we can implement such a critical program that we know is uplifting all of our families from poverty. I'm also just really proud to be here today with my colleagues, with Mayor and Councilwoman Kaplan, and speaking on behalf of our entire council, just proud that we authorize ARPA funding to support round 2 of these efforts. Mayor spoke a little bit about just the residual impacts of COVID, and I just want to share, in 2021, at that time, I represented a zip code that had the highest cases of COVID in the city of Sacramento. And many of those families were low income, and many of those families live in a large multi-generational household. So when one person is impacted with COVID, it spreads to the entire family, and many of our family lost their jobs, and they really needed a financial boost to help with their loved ones, whether they're in the hospital, cover next month's rent, and simply just to put food on the table. These dollars are going to be so critical in making sure that we can uplift our families from poverty, but also helping them with key life transition. I also want to share, the mayor talked about this, that these dollars are not about giveaway, but it's really about uplifting our families. I understand that, these dollars, when we invest in our families, it may not solve all the issues that they're facing, but what we're able to do with this program is to really help with the basic needs. And what that does, it actually pivots and position our families and position them towards upward mobility to address those basic needs so that they don't have to worry about the next rent, paying the next rent, putting food on the table. And what I also just wanted to share is that studies have shown that this does help our families. This isn't the first time a guaranteed income program is happening, right? We see this happening across the nation, and I'm just so proud that Sacramento United Way is taking lead to make sure that happens. I also want to share that the application is open right now, so you can go online. Earlier, Dr. Early gave you the website, but I'm also cognizant that many of our families may not have access to the internet or Wi-Fi, so I do want to to take this opportunity just to provide a phone number that you can call if you're interested in the program as well. You can call 916-452-3601 for help, and that number in particular is a number from La Familia. I know that they're a partner to make sure that we can get this information out as well. And so if you're watching this right now and you know of a family, they don't have access to Wi-Fi, they can also call this number. It's 916-452-3601. Thank you, everyone.
Again, thank you, Dr. Dante Earley. It's proud to partner with United Way today and my colleagues, Mayor Pro Tem Mai Vang, because we have to do more. Prior to being elected last year in November, I was a school board member for 20 years. I was board president when COVID hit and the pandemic hit. We saw the impact COVID had on families. Basic income is not, like the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem Mai Vang said, this is not a handout. I'm the only mom on council. How many of you have kids that have unexpected expenses that come up with our children? What a way to help our children and our families to have that ability to afford that expense, so they're not thinking about what food bank is open, what bill do I have to consider not paying to go month to month. Not to mention, studies have shown, why support this? Because this is one of the biggest factors to reduce racial disparity and gaps that we have in our society that come with poverty. It is time to make sure that our families can put food on the table, that have the ability to decide what is most important in their life to make sure that they have food and shelter and give them that flexibility. In life, nothing is guaranteed, but we as a society must do better for our families. Not to mention, specifically in the first round, a majority of women were the head of household who took advantage of this. This is how we lower the economic disparity, that women who are raising their children, women who are single, who can't necessarily afford rent, this is how we lift up families out of poverty, children out of poverty. Because think about this, when our children are safe and have a roof over their head, and they have food that they can have and their bellies are full, they're going to succeed in our schools. We have got to do better as a society, working together with our schools, with the cities, with our counties, across governments, because when we lift families, we're lifting the next generation of children who will not find themselves in this situation. And so with all of that and so much more, I am very proud to support this program and explore how can we expand this with limited dollars, because we know this works. And this is about an investment in our future as society, and we can do more. And with that said, it's actually my honor to introduce our former Senator, Dr. Pan, who's also been a United Way board member for 18 years, Dr. Pan? And he told me 18 years. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up former Senator, he's always a senator, right? Once elected, Dr. Pan.
Thank you, Lisa. And again, I want to thank our partners in the city of Sacramento, Mayor Steinberg, Mayor Pro Tem Mai Vang, and of course Councilmember Kaplan and the other council members who are not able to join us today. And this very important effort to help support families here in the city of Sacramento. And as a longtime member, I guess a very long time member of the United Way Board, chair of our Collective Impact Council, at United Way, our goal is to try to end generational poverty. We are here to improve the lives of people here in the Sacramento region. We have 5 counties in our Sacramento region, and we are looking forward to partnering with people across the region, including local governments here to help lift families to end generational poverty. And so this effort here today, which I think was mentioned, we started off with a generous donation from Mackenzie Scott, which actually was unrestricted, right? It told us, try to do good. And we looked at a variety of different approaches, including guaranteed income, and we used some of that money to launch our guaranteed income program to get it going. And we got some pretty good results, and we said, okay, how can we do it next? Where can we go next? And so really thrilled that the leaders of the city of Sacramento, this city said, we want to be a partner and we want you to be able to expand this program. And so we're going to be committing funds to let you expand here in the city of Sacramento. We know so many families are struggling. And here at United Way, we have done many things to try to get more funds to the hands of families so that they can address the very many needs, whether it's housing costs, getting food on the table, getting your kids to school and having them succeed, and all that involves both during COVID, but frankly, even before COVID and now, as we're trying to move forward, including things like getting them access to the internet, right? Getting them supports in the community to help them be able to succeed in school. Those are our goals at United Way. And we're so proud to have the City of Sacramento to be a partner in this guaranteed income effort. As I said, we work hard to try to get more resources into families' hands. We have been working actually in today because it's tax season. We have led the VETA outreach to get tax credits, both at the federal and the state, into families' hands. That brings money back here into the Sacramento economy that helps families, right? We're doing, we're also doing, again, the guaranteed income to get because we also know, in addition to the fact that families know where their needs are, and I think that's something to keep in mind. I mean, I think it's very important we support a variety of different programs, things like CalWorks and CalFresh, which are more directed, but families know themselves. And when a crisis hits, as I was mentioned, they need the flexibility, right? And also they could use a breather. Being poor is expensive. So I'm a pediatrician. I take care of a lot of families. In fact, I'm going to be tomorrow. I'll be at the Sacramento Primary Care Center. And I know when I meet these families, many of them who are on Medi-Cal or be uninsured, that being poor is expensive. Things actually cost more when you're poor, right? When you have more money, they're more willing to give you free checking or free this or something like that because they know that they're going to get more business from you. When you're poor, things are more expensive. And we need to help people get out of poverty, get into that better place. And that's what this is all about. So I really want to, again, thank the leaders of the City of Sacramento in being this very important partner here in the City of Sacramento. I call on the other local officials that we want to partner with you as well through our 5-county region. We know we're having some conversations with others, and so I'm hoping those will come through as well so we can continue to expand this. But let's help the families here in our region. Let's lift people out of poverty. Let's make the Sacramento region, and I have faith that we are going to do this. It's going to be the best place for people to live, to raise their families, and to succeed. So again, thank you so very much, and again, thank you to the City of Sacramento, and on behalf of the board, we're just really excited about this partnership. Thank you. And with that, thank you. And with that, I'm going to bring back to the podium our United Way CEO, Dante Earley. Dr. Earley.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pan. Thank you so much, Dr. Pan. So we will partner with Sacramento State. As I said, our lead researcher is actually here. Thank you so much, Dr. Ethan, to conduct a detailed study of this program, including a comparative analysis with a control group. We are excited to have high quality data to improve and evaluate this program for the future. We are so grateful to our nonprofit partners, especially the Asian Resource Center and La Familia, for helping us get the word out to potential participants and assisting applicants through the process. And again, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Vang, for getting that number out, because it's really, really important, particularly those with language barriers. Thank you again to Mayor Steinberg, Mayor Pro Tem Mike Vang, Councilmember Kaplan, and Dr. Richard Pan for being here today and for your steadfast support of our Guaranteed Income Program and of communities all throughout the Sacramento region. I also want to highlight that we are here at the Memorial Auditorium, and we will have our fundraiser gala celebrating not only that United Way is turning 100 in the region, we will be here April 29th, but also raising funds for our children and our youth. Our goal this year is to raise $3 million to help 10,000 kids excel in school. That is our goal, because United Way is committed to this region, and your children are our children, and that is United Way's promise to you. So with that, I am happy to take questions. Thank you. course. So I'm going to repeat that question just so everyone who is filming it on Facebook Live can hear. The question was, what are we hoping that we will see through the evaluation work? And we are very fortunate that our lead researcher is here and can actually answer that question.
It's a great question for a number of reasons. One, so that we can do a better job in next renditions of guaranteed income programs. But we already know quite a bit. We know that when people are struggling to make ends meet, that money in their pocket helps. So we won't be researching so much that basic question, but we do want to make sure that the money and the service is accountable to those who've made the money possible. So there is a sense of making sure we're improving people's lives in measurable ways. The other thing that we will be studying is really process and experience. What is it like to have to struggle every day to make ends meet, and how does this monthly contribution help? What types of things can people do? What goals can they achieve in their lives that aren't possible when it's penny to penny? This gives a little bit of lift to families out of poverty, and we can see what type of goals they might be able to achieve, whether they be financial, putting a little extra away for a rainy day, or God forbid, even a vacation, or is it to save up for a new car because the one you have is, spit and backfire down the road. These are real life concerns that people are concerned with. Maybe it's actually going to the doctor to pursue that surgery that was put on the back burner because you didn't know what you'd have to cut to be able to do it. So those are the types of questions we'll ask, and we really want to hear from community members themselves. What has it been like? What has this experience been able to provide, and where are you set up now to take the next steps in your lives? So we're excited to continue what United Way is doing and to provide information for United Way and the public toward that end.
Thank you so much.
Can Dr. Pan add? He has a really good, I wanted to share.
Okay, so we have, and so Dr. Pan is going to also answer in regards to some of the, as a pediatrician.
So one of the things, so as a former university professor, one of the things that I talked about, it's expensive to be poor. One of the things that there's a research around poverty that shows that the amount of, mental focus is probably the way to describe it, right? That someone who's in poverty needs to employ in order to figure out how to meet the next bill, right? Actually, the amount of effort, mental effort it takes when you don't have the resources, so you're constantly scrambling around, trying to figure out how to meet, pay the next bill, how to be sure you have the next meal, etc., actually draws your attention away, your ability to make other more strategic long-term decisions. So one of the benefits of guaranteed income is expected to be, and I think our evaluator is probably going to have a better idea of both what we see here and what's having happened before, is that you create that breathing space for people to be able to think a little more about their future. When I say about their future, things like making better financial decisions, right? Being able to have that time to explore what job opportunities are out there and not just simply jumping on whatever's immediately available. Having that breathing space is so very important. So that's why we're hoping that guaranteed income is not about, here's some money and it's going to be for like X number of years, 1, 2, 3, whatever years, and then when it goes away, you're just back where you started. We actually expect that when people get guaranteed income, by giving them that breathing space, by giving them that sort of brain release so that they can think more strategically about the future and the plan, actually then will lead to better outcomes, which will then actually mean that by the time that guaranteed income goes away, that they will actually be in a better place. So there is research to show that certainly being in poverty where you're constantly worried about your next bill, your next payment, has a very detrimental impact on your ability to plan for the future.
Thank you so much to both Dr. Pan and Dr. Ethan Evans from Sac State. I want to make sure I introduced him. Any other questions?
How will funds be distributed?
So we have a partnership. So the question was, how will funds be distributed? We have a partnership with Safe Credit Union, and every month funds will be distributed on a debit card that participants will get at the beginning of the program. Thank you for the question. Okay. With that said, I want to again say thank you so much to City of Sacramento, our partnership with Sac State, and to all the community members and nonprofits that have come together for our collective impact to improve the lives of community members here in the City of Sacramento, but also across Sacramento region. Thank you so much.